am AI. Accelerating your discoveries to solve the great challenges of our time. I am a visionary, bringing characters to life with more natural movement, generating brilliant new worlds for them to explore, and inventing new ways to bring out the creative genius in us all. I am a protector, leading the way into the most dangerous environments and searching for signs of life. I am a guardian, listening for the sounds of destruction to save our forests, and using satellites to bring freedom to those who are enslaved. I am a navigator, finding safer paths for cross-country deliveries and taking personal travel to new heights. I am a scientist, exploring oceans of data to understand extreme weather patterns and studying the building blocks of life to save a community from hunger. I am a healer, giving hope to those who suffer from the most challenging diseases. And tapping into the brain to rejuvenate paralyzed limbs. I am even the composer of the music you're hearing. I am AI, brought to life by NVIDIA, deep learning, and brilliant minds everywhere.
Well, good afternoon. So I just showed you a small video on the NVIDIA GTC keynote, which our CEO Jensen Huang always shows when he's starting our biggest AI GTC event. And it was just reflecting a lot of AI real use cases with the customers we are working on today. So, next slide, please. Okay, sorry. My name is BART SCHNEIDER, and I work for NVIDIA, and I'm responsible for the AI business in EMEA. And I just wanted to have a talk today with you about how AI is fueling all our businesses, because it's reflecting a lot of businesses these days. I forgot to flick. Thank you. Yeah, I'm sorry. Didn't get it. Okay, I'll start. First of all, I wanted to go over a few personal things, because AI is automating my world as well. So I think you remember, or you can see everything on the screen, it's Google Home. So when I'm at home, and I'm doing it a little bit, but my children are doing it much more, they're talking to the computer. They're talking to the Google Home and saying, what's weather today? Because I need to know what I'm going to wear for clothes today. So they're talking to Google Home. The other thing is that when you want to buy a pair of running shoes, Nike has a very nice app where you can scan your feet, and then literally it's going to tell you what kind of feet you have. Maybe it's good or bad, I don't know. And it's automatically connecting it to the shoe who will fit you. So it's a very, very handy app to work with. The other thing is electric autonomous cars. So my children up there, they're in the car. And although, normal cars will drive with a clutch and you need to start the engine and those kind of things, today you have cars where you can say, drive me from A to B. So it's not allowed yet, but at some point maybe children can drive cars as well. The other thing is, it doesn't look good, is my back. And I've had kind of hernia. So it's a degeneration of L4, L5, L6. So my doctor made this picture. And with an AI solution today, they can predict how my back will be in the coming years. And I can tell you, it's not very good. So it will be worse and worse and worse. But anyway, that's also something which is today in today's world, and at least in my world. And I think you experience all the same in this case, that AI is everywhere already without even knowing or looking at it. So what happened? So we had some industrial revolutions, and we started way back in the 70s with steam. After that, we went to the electricity. After that came compute. And now today we are at intelligence, because today it's all about intelligence. Data, reflecting data, checking data, analyzing data, etc. So we're in the intelligence mode. And it's the next big bang on the AI side. AI computing today is in every industry, but it's also creating new opportunities, because what we have been doing for the last whatever 30, 20 years is good, but with AI it's all getting better. And the only thing we want to do is speed up the workloads and make things better and easier, because all human intervention is not always the right thing to do, and with AI it's much more easy to do that. So for example, in healthcare, in media, security defense, financial services, and education and research. That are the main verticals where AI today is very apparent. A few other things, examples, how AI will transform the industry. So, for example, in healthcare example with Ohio State, 80% of the accuracy and immediate alert to radiologists. So this is really helping them to do their job better. The infrastructure side with Kansas City, so 50% of reduction in emergency on road repair costs, which is a lot of cost savings. The other thing is with GE, where they save around 6 million on reduced risk of outages of their machines. So you can see it's going to transform and change every industry as well. The other thing is that the world's largest supercomputers, they all use GPUs today to do AI with. And there's no supercomputer who can do that with any other thing than a GPU today. And you can see the ones we are working with right here. This is a movie on autonomous vehicles, how it's becoming reality. This is one of our own cars. It's not that good. it's repaired afterwards, but it's showing you what an autonomous car, so there's a person in still, but he's not doing anything. So this is the car driving itself, fully by itself, on highway, on B roads, etc. It's a long time ago already, but anyway. And then after 3,000 miles of learning, see what happened. He's still there to control it, but he's not doing anything anymore. And the car is not bumping or, So it's the same road, same conditions, but it's driving itself fully. So to give you an example, AI in automotive is huge. Today there are over 1 billion car drivers or cars in the world who are driving around 1 trillion miles a year. So you can imagine if we're going to have AI in the automotive industry, which is already happening. A lot of cars already can do some lane assist and some other stuff, level 2 or level 3. That whenever cars are going to drive fully autonomous, that the data set out of that will be huge. So that the piece in the car will be like this. You still need to have something in the car as well. But the data which will come out of that is huge. So that's a very big market, and that's why we also very heavily involved with all car manufacturers these days, even in Germany. The other thing is that on AI there are a lot of applications. So you have a lot of apps who are working with AI. As you can see on the HPC applications, all the familiar names, but also you have around 580 accelerated applications. So also on that side, you will see more and more AI-driven applications, which is good because they were not there a few years ago. And I think this is growing more and more and more and more as well. So from that perspective, AI is also a big help. Then the AI momentum. So 20% is predicted by the EU with GDP will be increased by 20% by 2030. So this is really a big number. The investment call from the EU Commission, although I just heard this morning that Germany only donated 500k euros, it's 20 billion. So the investment there needs to be an investment to go after this market because it's small now, but it will be huge, and every company and country needs to start working with it. There are a lot of research institutes in 28 countries who are building the platform for the EU. So that's also an important thing, that we keep ahead of what's coming and building the platform for the future. The other very important thing is, as a lot of companies here are today as well, is the startup community. We call it Inception, and we have a program for that called Inception Program. And there are around 3,000 startups in that program today who are making use of GPUs to build their companies and business to maybe at some point will be acquired for a lot of money. So that's where it's going as well. The startup community is really very, very important. They are the first and innovative companies who start doing AI years ago. Then, as I said, with the automotive side, on the data center side, the growth opportunity is massive. So only 2 years ago, it was around 339 million. And also for this year, it predicted around 2 billion. And the data center total addressable market, the TAM, is around 50 billion. So I saw a slide from a lady this morning where she was saying it's 200 billion. So that's the good part. So it can go up and down, but it can go up. It's not going down. But 50 billion total addressable market is really huge. And there are a few industries, particularly auto industries and HPC and cloud computing. So the auto I just mentioned with car stuff, embedded stuff on the AI side, but also the data center. HPC, high performance computing, which is already a big AI business, and cloud computing, all the Facebooks and the Googles and the Azures and those kind of guys of the world who are using lots of, or having lots of data, which needs to be analyzed as well on a daily basis. So I've been asked not to promote any NVIDIA products. I assume you all know the products, so I'm not going to do that. So I just wanted to show you a lot of slides, a few slides on real AI use cases, and show you what's going on there and how we are working with those type of companies. For example, with 12Sigma, we on CT scans for lung cancer, it's possible to make a diagnosis earlier. So you cannot see that from a human perspective, but with AI, it's possible that they can see the small preliminary notes already before we can see it. So in this case, AI is definitely helping the radiologist and the patient to find out sooner what's happening. It's similar with this case, with Martino's Center, where you can discover already or diagnose the infant blindness, because this is very common disease in a lot of countries. And with this, they had a lot of data already from existing children who had this, and they used that and they collected that, made analysis out of that, and based on that, they can now predict earlier what's going to happen, or if a child will have this blindness coming up. So also here, it's helping on making things better. Cyber defense, also a good thing. This with Accenture, we had a cooperation there. They're also on the cyber defense side, national security. You also need to have someone looking after you, at least with all the things online. And in this case, the AI app is also making that easier. a picture is worth 1,000 words. Also, in this case, with Bing, they said, okay, whenever someone is searching for a pair of jeans, they shouldn't get all kind of other jeans. They should have get only the jeans they're looking for, no wording, no anything, only the picture. And with this, they also, with AI, they can do that and show you really what you're looking for instead of giving you a lot of spam around it, which you don't need today. And it's getting more and more narrowed down to what you're exactly looking for, making use of AI. This is very interesting one, at least I think it's agriculture. So with all the pesticide and herbicide things for the weeds, it's possible with this machine, driven by AI, that every weed will be checked real time if it needs something or not, So I think it's insane that it's possible because there's like this, the weeds, and with this machine driven by an AI app, it's possible to dose the pesticide and herbicide on the weeds and the plants. Weather forecasting, that's a good one. I think we have a lot of people who start to forecast the weather or predict the weather, and it's not always good. But with an AI supporting app or application, it will be easier and easier to do that as well. And we've done this here also, and it's processing data 30 to 50 times faster than it was done before. AI can also help in customer service. So this is for KLM. I'm from the Netherlands, so the airline I'm flying with is KLM. It's connected to Air France, unfortunately. But anyway, so from that perspective, they help you feel you're a customer. So they have an app, WhatsApp or Facebook, any social media you can use with KLM to connect with them. If your flight is delayed, or if you can change your seat, or if you want another dinner on the plane, those kind of things, you can almost real time have an interface with the KLM person. Of course, it's a person still, and then also with AI, it's possible without a person. So in this case, they're used with Digital Genius, the app, to make that work. So it's boosting customer service, very important. Brain of smart cities, also an interesting one, because in every city today you have a lot of video surveillance, you have cameras, you have a lot of things going on. There's a lot of data which needs to be controlled and managed as well. And with AI, that's possible. And in this case, we work together with Hikvision on that one to make that work. Good one I saw on this main stage today as well is asteroids. So it seems that we're going to be attacked by asteroids or space invaders. I don't know who's going to attack us, but some attacks can be captured or can be at least analyzed before it's going to happen. So with this, in this case with NASA, they developed a tool which can help them predict the attacks from asteroids or any other alien ship which is coming into to our world. So also here, AI is real use case. Personalizing products. I didn't do it because for my face it's not very good. But you can see here for women, this is a very important tool. The forehead seems okay, but below the eyes, it's not. So this tool, you scan your face and it's automatically telling you that it's not good, which you don't want to hear. But then they give the solution as well. You need to buy more of their cream to put on your face to feel better. So in this case, it was with Olay, which we worked on the case. A chatbot as well, teaching computers to speak human. Because today, that's not always possible. And with chatbots, of course, you can have contacts. Although they're not thinking human, they're building with AI, they're learning every day to become human. And it's the same with the Google Assistant or Google Home I showed in the first slide with my children. They started asking questions, and then Google Home didn't know the answer. And now, a few months later, it's learned itself. and it's giving better answers to my children. So my children are very happy now, because that's a dumb machine, Dad, you don't need to buy it anymore. But now it's starting to learn, and it's giving them answers. Okay, now he seems to understand us, thank you. So it's really brilliant to see that. Also on business apps. So for example, in this case, we worked with SAP, and brand impact, that's the tool. You can see, for example, with the ski World Cup for Audi, how much Audi came visible when a skier went down the hill. So with this tool, you can immediately calculate the ROI on the investment in from marketing or media perspective. So also here, measuring is knowing what's happening, and it's also giving you the ROI if you want to do or need to do it again. Real time, with Shazam in this case, my children use that a lot as well. So they just put it on, and whenever they hear a song, they say, okay, I want to know who it is because I want to put it on Spotify, on my playlist. And so that's the new world. And that's really a brilliant app as well to do that with. And it's only possible with AI because they're talking about 11 million songs which need to be looked after. So it's impossible if you do that with anything other than an AI app. Swiss Federal Railway, this is also a very great opportunity and workload. They have simulated the physics of all trains for 1 day in 0.3 seconds. So this will give them a huge insight of what's going on a daily basis. So even before the day is started, they already know what's going to happen. So if there's some roadblocks or damages or anything else on the train, they can immediately see, okay, that's what's going to happen there. So they're going to proactive use this tool to work with the trains. Another one, speeding up drug discovery, because today people still get ill, unfortunately. So therefore, you need to have drugs, and not the drugs we have in the Netherlands, by the way. That's a similar one. That's a different one. But to speed it up, you need to have an AI tool who's going to help you with that. And this is really a very good example here as well, where 52 to 70% can reduce the time to develop a new drugs. So this is really very important on this side of the business as well. Protecting. So it's not always making things better. It's also protecting things. In this case, animals. So there are a lot of animals in the world which are marked with numbers or chips or anything else. But there are a lot of pictures around that as well. And it's impossible, again, to analyze all those animals at once. So with an AI tool and Wildbook, they build it. They are using that today, and it's possible now for them from several seconds to a fraction of seconds. So this is really important to work to for them. And then the last one, as I said, automotive is a huge market, and today it's only started. There's a big Mercedes here outside. It's electric. I think there's some maybe level 2 stuff in there that you can do a lane assist, or maybe it can park itself. But at the end, we are going to a kind of fully autonomous vehicle, which just arrives here, you push on your iPhone, it arrives here, you stand outside, you step in the back, you sit there, you do some work, and it brings you where you need to go to. And with this case, there's a joint venture with Volvo and Veoneer. It's called Zenuity. And they're already far ahead on this market and building the car for the future. Maybe not even future, the car for today. So that was my pitch. I'm AI, because that's what we say with NVIDIA. If you have any questions, you can send an email to barts@nvidia.com. Or I think we have some time. I need to ask if it's possible.
For questions.
5 minutes. Oh, brilliant. Thank you very much. Question here at the front.
Okay, I see a question up here in the first row.
You can ask him already. I know it's close by.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Inspiring video. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was good. Thank you.
Yeah. So here's a tough question. Where are you going?
Myself? I'm going home tonight.
This, you know, what you have shows what many of us kind of know where we're going.
Okay.
But where we're going beyond that, NVIDIA's long-term plan, 10 years out, 15 years out, I anticipate it's a difficult question because who knows? But what would your answer be? Where are we going to be with NVIDIA in 15 years?
So where we are today, we were 10 years ago already at NVIDIA. So we built this already 10 years ago. So our CEO, Jensen Huang, is a visionary. He knows where it's going. And 10 years ago, everybody told him you're crazy. But this is where it is. So 10 years ago, we're already where we are today. Where will we be in 5 to 10 years from now? Yeah, it's almost impossible to answer, but it will be far further advanced than we are today. And I think, as I said, with the automotive sector, this is a good example because it's tangible. You can see it and feel it. Yeah, that will be huge. And today we're just at the start. We're just here, and it's going to be there pretty soon. I think in the coming 2 or 3 years, it will be massive.
Are you doing anything in quantum machine learning?
Yes, but I'm not allowed to say anything about that. I'm sorry.
Okay, one more question here.
I know that you've had a major role in the media and entertainment industry. I didn't quite see any mention of that here.
What do you mean with media and entertainment?
You've done a lot, right? In trying to create a lot of stuff which is futuristic in movies. And
okay, movies. Okay, yeah. So we have. So I'm talking about the enterprise side of the business here. But we also have the consumer business and media and entertainment side of the business, the gaming business. But that's a separate division. And but yes, we have been building our company. We're existing already for 27 years, so we're not a startup. Although at some point we look like a startup. But yeah, that industry made us big over the last 20, 21, 22 years. And that's still growing, but this is the new phase. So NVIDIA as a company is transforming into a more AI company than only being connected to the media and entertainment side, which is still our biggest business. So don't get me wrong, it's still there. But I didn't want to export here because this is more the enterprise side.
Okay, we have one last question over here, and then.
Thank you. Excellent presentation and very clear use case examples. There's a lot of experimentation going on with AI by companies out there and businesses. But do you have a sense of how many businesses and what percentage of businesses are actually using AI across their organization in mass production?
Can you be more specific?
Accenture will say only 5% of big companies are using AI in production.
Yeah, more specific in the vertical, in company. What type of companies? Because we have a lot of verticals today.
You can let's take healthcare companies, industrial companies.
I think healthcare, higher education, research, healthcare, finance, they're really catching up on AI. A lot of other companies, manufacturing and retail, are still behind. So it's just the verticals today. Supercomputing is one, HPC is one, of course, who are using that. But yeah, the verticals, higher education, research, oil and gas to some extent, they're catching up fast because they need it. So they cannot do without it. That's the whole thing. And they need to keep up with competition. And the only thing to do that with is to speed up your workloads and cycles and make it easier with less efforts.